welcome. I'm really glad everybody is here. I want to start by saying something clearly right up front. If you have ever set goals in January and felt exhausted by them before February, you're not broken, you're not undisciplined, and you're not lacking motivation. The system you were given simply doesn't work for the leader like you. So today is not about resolutions. We're not going to go back to like it's January 1st, and we're not going to be talking about resolutions. And we're not talking about vision boards, and we're not talking about how to push harder. Today is about why capable, committed leaders burn out on goals faster than anyone else, and what actually needs to change for this year to work differently. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through 3 things. Why motivation collapses so quickly, why discipline is not the solution, and what aligned leaders do instead of setting traditional goals. Okay, I'm not providing a full solution, just a lens, and hopefully some clarity and some guidance so you can move forward throughout 2026 in a better way, feeling less fatigued and not beating yourself up. Okay, so if it lands, I'll show you the next step at the end of the course. And in true Empower People fashion, we always say our oath, so repeat after me. I, Tiffany Joy Greene, do solemnly swear to accept the lifelong obligation to hone my superhero powers and apply those superhero powers to the good of the people I serve. I will promote and add to the ongoing success of Empower People, its members, and the people, organizations, and communities it serves. I will help prepare the next generation of superheroes. I am driven to be a positive change agent for those I serve and interact with. And hands on the hips, shoulders back, look up to the sky, empowered. That's your daily dose of empowerment. And Melanie, when your client comes in the door, feel free to share. Okay, what are the outcomes today? We're going to talk about the real problem of feeling
that as fast as you now. Almost. I can almost keep up. Almost. Almost.
A few more times.
Almost.
Yeah, yesterday during the course I was giving yesterday, I was told that I know this is going to be shocking, but I'm high energy.
No. That's really shocking.
It was the first time I ever heard it.
They didn't say you talk fast either, did they?
No, I think that was all wound up in the whole high energy bit. I think it was like all wrapped up in a nice pretty bow. I didn't take offense. They said that my husband must have to drink a whole pot of coffee before he interacts with me. And I said, in fact, he does drink a whole pot of coffee in the morning. Now I know why. So let's talk about what we're covering today. We're going to talk about the real problem, which isn't that you don't have the willpower to do your resolutions, okay? We're going to do an exercise. It's called the resolution autopsy. We're going to do a case study that sounds a little bit more scary than what it is. We're going to talk about the capable leader trap. Then we're going to talk about the reframe. Then we're going to have exercise number 2, which is the alignment anchor. And then there's going to be a closing invitation. So let's talk about the real problem. So this is what I call resolution fatigue, right? We're already midway into January. And resolution fatigue happens when goals are built on hope instead of architecture. Like, oh, I'd really like to fill in the blank. I'd really like to increase my book of business by, I'd really like to be a better leader this year. I'd really like, fill in the blank, right? But most goal setting assumes 3 things that simply aren't true for leaders. First, it assumes your energy is stable. Like, you always have the same amount of energy. And while it might appear that I always have the same amount of energy, I just might have an enormous amount of energy one day, but then the next day I might just have a good deal of energy. So even for somebody like myself, my energy level is not stable consistently. It just isn't. It isn't for anybody. And second, it assumes your role is predictable. It's not. And we're going to talk about that. And third, it assumes your control is now. Here's another opportunity. So in the registrations for the course, I did receive a question, and I'm going to let you know what that question is, and then I'm going to provide the answer to the question. So the question was, how long do you watch your team move toward the Q1 goals before you need to adapt or adjust? That's a really good question. Let me say it one more time. How long do you watch your team move toward the Q1 goals before you need to adapt or adjust? So, here's my answer. You should know within 2 to 4 weeks whether Q1 goals need to be adjusted, but not because the goals failed, because the system is talking. Are you listening to your system? So, what you're looking for in the first month is not results. That's not what I'm saying. You're looking for friction. So here are the 3 signals that tell you adjustment is required. First, energy is dropping. If people are already tired, resistant, or quietly disengaging in the first few weeks, the goal is asking for more than the system can support. Let me say that one more time. It's really key here. If energy is dropping, if people are already tired, resistant, quietly disengaging in the first few weeks, the goal is asking for more than the system can support, and that's not laziness, that's misalignment. So that's 1. 2, execution is stalling, okay? If decisions are slowing down and approvals are piling up, or people are confused about priorities, the architecture isn't clear enough to support the goal. You don't need motivation, you need clarity. That is actually a strong indicator that there may be a misalignment because they're unsure of what the true purpose is. It's causing friction. And why are we doing what we're doing? Why are they piling more on? What is really important to us? That causes friction, right? And 3, trade-offs aren't being made. So this kind of is teed up by the second one, right? If everything is still important, nothing really is. If everything is important, nothing is. I say this too. Like if you are talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody. Aligned teams know what to say no to. So the yes can actually move. No's have to be given. No, not right now. No, later. This is the priority. Okay, we're pivoting, we're shifting. Our priorities are here right now. We'll get back to that at a later date. Be clear. Trade-offs always have to be made. You can't just have a laundry list of items and just keep tacking on and expecting everything to be done like it was before. Not a realistic goal, okay? So here's the leadership reframe, okay? The first 30 days of Q1 are not about proving the plan. They're about testing the fit between the goal and the real organization, not just what's on paper, folks. Hear what I'm saying. It's about testing the fit between the goal and the real organization. It's not about this is where, when in marketing, you will have a new product, but before you launch it out to the masses, what do? You have a test group, a focus group. And based on that feedback you get, you can alter it. Think of Q1 like that. You're getting all this amazing feedback to know, can we fully go into this or do we need to make some alterations? Strong leaders don't cling to goals. They listen to the system. That's how you adapt early instead of apologizing later. So I want to thank everyone for attending today's course. Hopefully this gave you some beginner steps to setting forth your architecture for the remainder of the year. And remember this is key, very important. Empower people is where people are power. Let's evolve together. And I look forward to seeing you at the next event.